All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be diving into how to better connect with and support our aging parents. And we've got, this guide that we're looking at that has a lot of practical advice.
Yeah.
And I think that some of these ideas are really helpful, especially when it comes to, strengthening our bonds with our parents and finding ways to actually, be there for them in a way that feels, good for everybody involved.
Right.
So right off the bat, the guide kind of jumps into this idea of quality time over quantity, which I think is such an important concept, right? Instead of stressing about how often we see our parents, it's more about making the time that we do have really count.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And I think it's really a relief to a lot of people because I think so many people feel guilty about not being able to see their parents as often as maybe they feel like they should or they want to. But like you said, life gets in the way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't. But, when you can see them, when you are spending time with them, that's when it really matters.
Yeah. And to actually enjoy it too, right? Not to just be going through the motions of, okay, I'm here, but to really be present.
Be present. Yeah.
And speaking of enjoying time together, the guide also talks about shared activities.
Right.
And it even gives some specific examples, like cooking together or gardening or even just going for walks together.
Yeah. And those are really smart examples because they're things that a lot of people like to do. So it doesn't have to be something that's a big deal, it's not like you have to plan this big elaborate outing. It can just be these little things, these everyday things that you can do together. And I think that's what makes them so special.
Well, and especially I think about something like gardening, for instance.
Yeah.
It's not just about keeping busy or having something to do. It's there's actual research about how beneficial that is, especially for older adults.
Yeah, for cognitive function.
Yeah.
And for just their mood, it can be really uplifting.
Yeah, there's something about being outside and connecting with nature.
Yeah.
It's mood boosting for all of us, I think.
For sure.
And I bet cooking together can bring up all sorts of
absolutely
fun memories and stories too.
Yeah. And that leads us perfectly to the next topic, which is reminiscing and storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Because, when you're cooking, you're talking.
Right.
And so encouraging your parents to share their memories, I think, is so important.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think, for a lot of people, it's like opening a treasure chest. Oh, that's such a good way to put it.
Because you get to hear about their lives, their experiences, and it really, I think, helps them preserve those precious moments.
It's and it's not even just about listening, right? It's about actively engaging with their stories and asking questions.
Yes, asking questions is so important.
Yeah.
And maybe even writing them down or recording them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
To keep for future generations.
Yeah, create almost a living history of your family, essentially.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool.
And for your parents, it really reinforces their sense of identity and belonging. Imagine how validating it feels to have someone genuinely interested in their life experiences.
It's like saying your story matters.
Exactly.
Which I think is so powerful.
Yeah.
So we've covered quality time, shared activities, reminiscing.
Let's see, what's next?
What's next on this list?
Acts of service.
Oh, yeah.
Which might sound kind of formal. Yeah, a little bit.
But it's really just about those everyday things that we can do to make our parents' lives a little easier. So it could be helping with groceries or, figuring out that new, what do they call it? The newfangled gadget.
Yes.
That they're struggling with.
Totally.
Or just offering to tidy up around the house.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think sometimes we shy away from those things because we don't want to feel like we're being taken advantage of.
Right, yeah.
Or we worry about, creating dependence.
Yeah.
But this guide really emphasizes framing these acts as expressions of love.
Yes.
Not burdens.
And I think that's key.
Yeah.
It's all about shifting your mindset.
Right.
Instead of thinking, ugh, I have to mow the lawn again.
Right.
It's this is a way I can show my mom that I care and it's something that will make her life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And, chances are while you're mowing the lawn, you'll end up having a nice chat with your dad or sharing a few laughs. So it's just another opportunity
totally.
to connect.
It's those like little ways to just kind of show up and be supportive, even in, like you said, the most mundane tasks.
Exactly.
And then finally, the guide talks about the importance of open communication.
Yeah.
Which I think is huge.
That's day one.
Yeah. But also maybe one of the tougher things to do sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So what does that look like open communication when it comes to our parents?
Well, I think it's about creating a safe space where you can have honest conversations about everything from their daily needs to bigger concerns that they might have about aging.
Yeah.
Are they worried about finances, healthcare?
Yeah.
Their living situation? All of these things are really important.
And it's about letting them know that they can be honest with you.
Yes.
You're there to listen without judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's a two-way street too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're being open with them, they're being open with you.
Right.
But it's also about respecting their autonomy.
Yes.
Right? Remembering that they're still adults with their own.
We get to make their own decisions.
Yeah. Thoughts and feelings and preferences.
Sure.
So it's not about taking over their lives.
Right.
It's about working together to kind of navigate these challenges as a team.
I love that. As a team.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, to recap, we've got 5 key areas here.
Yeah.
Quality time, shared activities, reminiscing, acts of service, and open communication.
5 powerful ways to connect.
Yes, 5 powerful ways to connect with and support our aging parents.
I love it.
And as we kind of wrap up here, any final thoughts on all this? What are some things that our listeners can kind of take away and apply to their own lives?
I think as you're thinking about these 5 different approaches, remember to focus on what brings you and your parent joy. What are those things you genuinely enjoy doing together?
Yeah.
What makes your parent light up? That's where the real magic happens.
That's such a great point to end on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with more deep dives soon.